following footage is brought to you by Idaho Potato. That's me. Professor has made me talking potato to deal with things like DNA. But first, a musical interlude in the jungle chicken show. Woo-hoo!
Bok, 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 bok. Bok, 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 bok.
Hello, lovelies. It's me, Fancy Grace. I'm going to go ahead and be talking to you about this article. Now, I went back and looked through some of my stuff on my computer, and I saw I had this article from 2022. And it says right here, appearing on CNN on Saturday, Andrew McCabe, who served as a deputy director for the FBI from 2016 to 2018, explained how agents were able to delicately survey the suspect over the past several weeks. As he explained, Kohberger was on the radar of investigators before he left Idaho for Pennsylvania, allowing agents to track him from we'll go to the next page now, but do you see here? Because what I'm going to show you next is the page that exists now, because they erased this one. This copy was put in its place on January 1st, 2023. Interesting. They deleted the CNN interview as well. Don't you worry, Fancy's got receipts for all of this. But look where it says, likely surveil Kohberger. See how they're taking that back? It gets worse. But I have the whole rest of the article. Let's take a look. Okay, this goes back to the original article I had. And notice it says, okay, he was on the radar of investigators before he left for Pennsylvania, and they were able to track him from the beginning. That's where it says up there. I'm so sorry I had to screenshot that stupid thing on there in the corner. Okay, it says, it's an incredibly complicated, well-choreographed ballet, if I may, of surveillance efforts that would cross multiple FBI field divisions, McCabe said, would involve multiple surveillance teams who were following him in certain areas and handing him off to new teams. All right, y'all. Now, these news people is probably going to say, oh, this was our mistake. We accidentally said that they did all of this. How could you confuse that? Either the FBI followed him or they didn't. Because currently, they're saying they didn't have anything to do with following him across the country. I also recall seeing them say now they didn't pull over BryanKohberger. They told the Indiana police nothing. Sure. So, this former director of the FBI goes on and says, also explained that once in Pennsylvania, how did they accidentally get the man on recording saying in Pennsylvania? Oh, that's right. We deleted that, so you can't watch the interview anymore. But Fancy took screenshots. Oh, crap. What are we going to do about this now? Anyway, they said once in Pennsylvania, the surveillance efforts surrounding Kohberger needed further care and finesse so as to not stand out to the residents. A common issue, blah, blah, blah. The surveillance ends up in Pennsylvania, he's quoted down here saying, what we know as a very rural area. It can be very challenging to survey someone in those conditions. Okay, so now, saying the surveillance ends up in Pennsylvania. What we know as a very rural area, he added. It can be very challenging to survey someone in those circumstances because any kind of vehicles or people that aren't normally from that area really stand out to the local population and, of course, to the subject. So great job by the FBI surveillance teams here to be able to maintain an eye on this subject while hold on, we're going to the next page. Okay, so great job by the FBI surveillance teams here to be able to maintain an eye on this subject while the investigators and prosecutors were working back in Idaho. They get their probable cause and get in front of a judge and get an arrest warrant. I'm a little confused because I thought he was a fugitive from justice when he left because they didn't have any surveillance on him. This just doesn't seem to be representing that at all. I mean, if you think this is wrong, write something in the comments. But your girl's doing some good work here. I'm digging back through my stuff, guys. I've been watching this case for a long time. I got lots of stuff to say about it. So, anyway, these people that aren't even watching him, you know, I mean, it was just a coincidence that he was pulled over twice by the Indiana State Police just to kind of look at him. Whatever. The FBI has committed its full support to our partners with the Moscow Police Department in an effort to solve this horrific case and bring some resolution. Alright folks, while I begin wrapping things up, Fancy would like to remind you that I receive zero funding at all from doing this. So this is just purely to educate and entertain the people. Everything here has been used under fair use. So, with that in mind, folks, why don't you hit subscribe? It won't hurt you. It doesn't cost a thing. And that way you'll know when a new video comes out. Well, it's been great spending time with you. To conclude, I'm going to show a few clips of some more crap that they lied about BryanKohberger. Y'all better be careful, because look, now they're going to give us clues.
Buck, 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 buck. Buck, 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 buck.